Good evening, everybody. It looks like we already have some people watching here for the Atlanta News First Plus weekend update and just a wrap up on some of the stories that we've been following that are making headlines and really creating a buzz nationally, locally, and of course right here in our newsroom. So I want to get straight to some video that we got from this scene right now. Come take a look. This is from a downed power line in DeKalb County. There was quite a cleanup out there after crews say that a downed power line caused 6 cars in this parking lot outside of this apartment complex to go up in flames. The good news is they say there was minor damage to the outside of the apartment complex. The apartment complex is called the Silver Oaks Apartments, and they say that no one was injured. So that was definitely the best news that we were able to get with that. But now I want to dive in to some other stories that we have been following tonight. And I'm just going to make sure that we have everything on par here and that all of our supers are matching, because we are the producer here, we are the director, we are all of it. So we have been following the situation with Norfolk Southern after the train derailment in Ohio and Palestine. That was a really big deal. It has been for several weeks. It has been an ongoing situation as multiple things took place there. And now they're facing some hefty legal troubles. So I want to get to some video right now while I tell you the latest on this situation right now, because now the U.S. Department of Justice is suing the company over the train derailment that took place in Ohio. Federal prosecutors say the company's February derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, polluted waterways and violated the Clean Water Act. But now the DOJ has to prove that the crash led to the release of hazardous materials. So that's going to be their part in this investigation. And as this moves forward, Norfolk responded to the lawsuit saying, quote, "We are working with urgency at the direction of the U.S. EPA and making daily progress." So you can see crews out there. If you peek up right now, you can see that, again, they've been doing the best that they can to address this situation. The CEO has been front and center, releasing numerous statements as he has really been under a lot of pressure. I've seen many reporters pushing for more answers when this all came about. So that is the other top story that we have been talking about tonight, just because that is local, and we just want to continue following that. Now, this is a little bit more national, definitely more national. This is a story that has been a big talker, and it came down earlier this week, and now we're learning new details. This is all about, you probably guessed it, the Trump indictment. Now, as you know, that came down earlier this past week, and now we're learning some new details about how he is going to likely surrender himself to New York City authorities. So I'm going to let Christiane Benavides share the rest.
Former President Trump left his Florida golf course Sunday while supporters rallied ahead of his trip to New York, where he will face criminal charges. 2 law enforcement sources tell CBS News that Trump is likely to fly into LaGuardia Airport Monday on his private aircraft. The next day, he is expected to appear for an arraignment in Lower Manhattan after a grand jury indicted the former president last week. The historic indictment is expected to be unsealed and read in court, where he will be asked to enter a plea.
We will very loudly and proudly say not guilty.
Trump's attorney, Joe Tacopina, says he anticipates making a motion to dismiss the case.
Somehow, a state prosecutor has taken a misdemeanor and tried cobbled together to make it a felony by alleging a violation of federal campaign violations.
Well, the case centers around alleged hush money paid in 2016 to adult film star Stormy Daniels to buy her silence over an affair she claimed to have had with Trump. On Sunday, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson announced he will also seek the Republican nomination. Hutchinson said Trump should drop out now that he's been indicted.
For the sake of the office of the presidency, I do think that's too much of a sideshow and distraction.
On Tuesday night, the former president plans to make public remarks from his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida.
So former President Donald Trump did release a statement after this all came out last week. He said, I just want to read you this statement from former President Donald Trump. He said, This is political prosecution and election interference at the highest level in history, end quote. So that's the very latest. We will be following this very closely as this takes place. We are being told, at least as of now, that it's going to take place on Tuesday. And if we learn anything new, we'll make sure to share it with you right here on Atlanta News First Plus Desk, as well as in our newscast. But now I want to talk something a little bit lighter. You already know it's been a beautiful day outside, so we are going to let First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin take over as he's going to tell you how you should plan the rest of your work week. Hey, Cutter.
Hey there. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous this evening. If you do have any maybe late night plans, anything you have going on this evening, maybe a Sunday supper with friends and with loved ones, with family members, it's going to be absolutely stunning out there. You can see just a few high clouds as we take a live look across the connector, 75-85 towards Midtown and downtown Atlanta. No significant issues, but a heads up, a first alert for you. Rain does re-enter the picture tomorrow. You can see showers and even some pretty hefty thunderstorms developing across portions of North Texas, DFW. There's so many events, including the women's NCAA, they had the big game today, and basketball game, and it was kind of impacted by weather. A lot of fans, having to deal with rain and hail, even some severe weather as they were navigating their way to, I believe it was in the American Airlines Center there in downtown Dallas. And those storms will continue to march eastward. Thankfully, the severe threat not in our forecast, but it does look like the rain is going to be entering the picture here as we go deeper into our Monday morning. Not a total washout. There will be some dry time on our Monday, but a heads up, there will be some moisture to contend with. Again, riding this stalled front, kind of like a highway from northwest to south and east. We're going to be tracking this here over the next 12 hours or so. I do think that mid tomorrow morning through maybe perhaps early tomorrow afternoon, that's when the greatest rain chance will be, especially from Atlanta points south and southwest. We're going to hop into Facebook here in just a moment, let you view the comments, and if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, I'll be able to show you those here in just a moment as we load up some new graphics. But I do want to step back to this evening. Again, we're talking about the rain tomorrow morning, but some pleasant weather to still be had this evening. It's fairly nice outside right now. Not only is it dry, not only is it still mostly clear, just some high clouds streaming in, but also it feels comfortable. 69 in Atlanta. A little cooler up in the mountains at 63. LaGrange in the mid-60s as well. Athens is at 65, so if you're in Clark Oconee counties, the east side, it is relatively comfortable as well. 24-hour temperature change. We had some cooler air filter in this time last night, so today was a cooler day, and certainly right now it is cooler than it was just the same time yesterday. But the difference between tonight and last night is temperatures won't cool all that much more overnight tonight. We're going to cool a little bit. Yes, but tomorrow morning we're not going to wake up to 40s. We'll wake up to temperatures in the 50s and in some cases possibly into the lower 60s. And we're looking at Facebook right now, and let's see, we have some comments coming in. Hello to you, Max Goof. Good evening to you, Michael Baxter. Max Goof, so will Metro Atlanta be under level 5 or 6 risk one day in severe weather season? No way to know that, and there's no level 6. High risk is level 5, and that is the greatest risk, and nothing like that in the forecast right now. But we'll be watching it for you here as we get deeper into severe weather season. Of course, May and portions of April tend to be the stormiest period across the Mid-South and the Southeast, but no severe weather in our forecast at the moment. Just a nice Sunday evening. And yes, we do have a first alert to rain back in the forecast tomorrow. We're going to be watching that potential here for you over the next 24 hours. We'll walk you hour by hour here in just a moment. And I'm going to load up this new forecast model here for you. Again, that's actually a view of your comment feed right now if you're watching possibly on Facebook. Also, we're live on YouTube, Atlanta News First. The account to like and follow. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, those are the places to be. That's Atlanta News First on Facebook and Atlanta News First on YouTube Live right now, and we're going to be talking about the weather here for the next several minutes. Going to give it another 5 or 10, then probably wrap it up. And a reminder, tonight, normal schedule, 9 p.m. newscast on Peachtree TV, also a 10 p.m. hour, and then we may go on a little bit late tonight. We have the big awards, country music award show going on Atlanta News First right now. That could have us going on just a little bit late tonight. Here's that new forecast model. Again, some of the latest data coming into the First Alert Weather Center, hour by hour, showing those clouds moving in. but still dry through midnight, even 1, 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. But a first alert comes into place as we get into mid-morning, 8, 9 a.m. Notice first alert popping up on your screen. Rain is most widespread along and west of I-75, 10 a.m. Temperatures in the 50s to near 60. So overnight tonight, no 30s. Barely anyone in the 40s, maybe some of our mountain communities, but I think most of us will wake up to temperatures in the low to mid-50s, maybe some upper 50s on the southwest side. So light jackets, but don't need the heavy coat. 11 noon tomorrow, still tracking a decent amount of rain, and by that point, late morning and early afternoon, some of this spreading up into the mountains, Blue Ridge, Ellijay, Helen, Rabun County, Clayton, Clay County, North Carolina. The mountains seeing the least rain, and I think rain will be steadiest and most persistent southwest side of metro Atlanta. Here we are, 3 p.m. Temperatures in the mountains with more clouds around. Despite you not getting that much rain in the mountains, there will still be some scattered showers, but clouds really serving to keep you all cooler. Mid-50s, some of our higher elevation communities, and notice even the north side of the metro. Gainesville, Lawrenceville, Dallas, Cartersville, Cherokee County, Canton. Maybe staying shy of 60 degrees. So a much cooler day Monday because of the clouds and showers moving through. I think Atlanta and points south and west, though, back in the mid-60s tomorrow afternoon. Maybe mid to upper 60s. Southwest side, but 70 degrees is going to be hard to come by tomorrow afternoon. Maybe down in Macon, Warner Robins, just a little bit warmer down that way. With just a spotty chance of rain, we're going to drop that first alert by mid tomorrow afternoon. So mid-morning through early afternoon is when rain will be most widespread, and then tapering off just a bit as we get into the later afternoon hours and the evening. Maybe not completely dry for the grilling plans tomorrow evening. I know Monday, first full day of spring break for so many folks. Maybe spending some family time in the backyard. If you do have grill plans, there's rain to contend with early in the day, but by late afternoon, early evening, just spotty showers in the forecast. Here's a look city by city across metro Atlanta Monday afternoon. Low to mid-60s the rule. On the west side, Smyrna 62, East Point 65. I think downtown Atlanta 65. But some cooler air along with the clouds and showers. Sandy Springs to Alpharetta, either side of 60 degrees there tomorrow afternoon. Probably warmest about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, going to early evening. Norcross, Beaufort, Lawrenceville, Stone Mountain, lower 60s. Ryan Laird saying, hey, genre tomorrow. That may have been a typo, Ryan. Genre tomorrow. If you need a question answered, just holler back. In general, Ryan, you may have missed that first part of this conversation. Chance of rain tomorrow. Rain chance greatest first alert mid-morning through early afternoon. Kind of a gloomier, cooler day across North Georgia with scattered showers in the forecast tomorrow afternoon. Most widespread, though, mid-morning to early afternoon. Mentioned grilling. Here's that grilling forecast. Lots of clouds, but rain spottier. Temperature still in the 60s for most folks by 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon as we go into early evening. Upper 50s, lower 60s even in the metro, and some, again, on the far north side, up into the mountains may stay in the 50s tomorrow afternoon. So a pretty cool one with that rain chance greatest between maybe 9, 10 a.m. and 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll get a break Tuesday. No first alert needed. Maybe a spotty shower, but I think mostly dry, and will be dry in the city of Atlanta. Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to gradually bring back a rain chance, mainly northwest Georgia, well northwest of the metro. That's where the rain chance will be greatest, Wednesday and Thursday, but it is looking like area-wide that rain chance will get a boost as we get into our Friday and our Saturday. So in particular, Friday evening, Friday night, into Saturday morning could be wetter once again. We'll be monitoring that forecast. Any adjustments as new data comes in, we'll pass them along. And the First Alert weather app at AtlantaNewsFirst.com right here in our streaming weather chats. And, of course, on Atlanta News First, Peachtree TV. We may have to add a First Alert. It does look like rain could linger into Easter Sunday. And cooler weather as well. Again, not just a rain chance, not just more clouds, but also look at temperatures here. Forecasting, and I've lowered temperatures as new data came in this evening. It's possible we could stay in the 50s Saturday before Easter, so kind of a cooler Easter weekend. No freezes, clouds and gloom, scattered showers, temperatures cooler. After warm weather midweek, upper 70s to near 80, drier day, again with more sunshine. We're going to soar towards 80 or so on Tuesday afternoon. Low to mid-80s, going 84 degrees Wednesday afternoon. Back to 79 Thursday, still mostly dry, again wetter northwest. And then showers and cooler Friday, especially afternoon, evening, night, with temperatures back in the 60s. And we will struggle to hit 60 on our Saturday afternoon. Easter Sunday right now, lower 60s, so kind of cool. with a scattered chance of rain in the first alert forecast. Max Goof is watching on YouTube Live. Thank you for watching, man. Hope all is well on your end and that you continue to have a wonderful evening. Also chatting with folks on Facebook, Ryan, Michael, Max as well on YouTube Live and Atlanta News First on Facebook. Thanks for chatting and for checking in. So that's a general look at the forecast. First alert, rain is back tomorrow morning. Keep those rain and lightning alerts just in case. I don't think too much lightning tomorrow. No risk of severe weather locally, though down in middle and south Georgia could be a few strong storms. But keep those rain alerts turned on in the First Alert weather app. New data coming in this evening. I'll have your full forecast coming up in just about 30 minutes on Peachtree TV, Atlanta News First at 9 p.m. We'll have a 10 o'clock hour as well and 11 o'clock half hour back on at Atlanta News First. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Again, umbrellas, a good idea tomorrow morning. In just a little bit, back with your hour-by-hour forecast, another check of the First Alert forecast here in about 30 minutes.